Hello YouTube. Uh, I am here bringing you the second part to my 4 video series on the history of World War II. Today I will be covering the events from 1940 to 1941 and what significance they played with the rest of the war. So let's set the scene. It's early 1940. Poland has been completely annexed by Germany and the Soviets. France and Great Britain have declared war on Germany, although taken little action in what is now known as the Phony War. The British have recently sent soldiers from the British Expeditionary Force to France. The Battle of France has been a complete disaster for the Allies, and they are now fleeing to the beaches of Dunkirk. The new British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, promises that he will, one way or another, evacuate the brave young men from the beaches of Dunkirk one way or another. In a most peculiar decision, he calls on the help of civilian vessels known as little ships, who brave the waves of the English Channel to rescue their soldiers and bring them back home safely. In one of the most strange decisions of the war, Hitler decides to call off his infantry and tank advance through France. His foot soldiers and armoured vehicles never end up reaching Dunkirk in time. Whatever the reason, this gives the Allies plenty of time to board their destroyers and civilian ships and get home safely. Despite Churchill calling the evacuation a resounding success in his "We shall fight on the beaches" speech in the House of Commons, many men from both France and Great Britain were left behind, along with many intact weapons and vehicles. A couple of months later, with the Germans now confident with their capture of France, decide to plan for the amphibious invasion of Great Britain. France has decided to surrender, although not all of the country has been totally annexed. There is a northern zone under German occupation, and the southern zone is left somewhat politically neutral. The Vichy French government, as it is known, is a politically neutral French zone, but is secretly a puppet of the Germans. Italy also gets a small portion of France as a show of Germany and Italy's alliance together. Speaking of Italy, Italy declares war on Great Britain, making the Allied position in the war even more, or let's just say, terrible than it was before. The Luftwaffe sends fighters and bombers across the English Channel to bomb ports and airstrips. The RAF is dispatched to meet them and, send them running. The Battle of Britain begins in mid-1940. Despite the advantage in numbers, the Germans are defeated terribly during this battle due to British determination and better strategy. With this terrible defeat in mind, the German government decides to scrap their invasion. Although bombing of British ports and airstrips continues for some time, until in May 1940, Hitler decides to begin a terror bombing campaign over British cities such as Leeds, Manchester, London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Birmingham, and many more. Now we skip forward to 1941. Despite Hitler and Stalin's peaceful cooperation so far, peace is not expected to last anytime soon. Fascism and communism simply do not go together. On June 22nd,